The city managed to anticipate this crisis with an holistic program initiated in 2015 called Alternative Istanbul. At this time, nobody was predicted that Istanbul could bounce back from its critical situation. Indeed, the development of traffic infrastructures pushed the city out of its limit. The metropolis extends more than 100 kilometers across. Simultaneously, the urban renewal policies erase slowly the historical city center. The urban policies tend toward the homogenization of the inner city, whereas its force could be found in its diversity. The non-efficiency of public transport system and the development of infrastructures that favored private car provoked an important air pollution. The Alternative Istanbul program, created in 2015, has been developed in parallel of governmental decision. The main stake of the program was to question the endless development of the city, mainly based on consumption. In order to prepare Istanbul for a future crisis, they rethink the essential need of the city and consider that the city itself constitutes resources to develop itself in the future. Everything that has built the city in the past becomes resources to build the city in the future: people, existing urban fabric, or energy. One of the first actions was derived on the Golden Horn. The Golden Horn, called Haliç in Turkish, was an old trading harbour and a popular place to hunt during the Byzantine period. Emperor was enjoyed this location for pleasure. The site of the Golden Horn was famous for its tulip gardens, where upscale people came to enjoy and row with their boats at the romantic sunset. In the Turkish culture, it was a symbol of paradise on earth and had almost a divine status. After the fall down of Constantinople in 1453, the Ottoman Empire became powerful. The Golden Horn was the perfect place to establish a large arsenal. Set up on the north part of Golden Horn, the Haliç shipyard may have given to the Ottoman Empire one of the greatest military industries of early modern Europe. It was often compared to the Venice arsenal. It was the heart of shipbuilding and naval governance in the Ottoman Empire. Sultans built their own palace to control the army. A lot of galleons were built there to fight against the enemies. Social facilities were built for the workers, like hospital, mosque, hammam, and housing. Unfortunately, the decline of the empire brought with him the decline of this shipyard place. The construction of warships stopped progressively at the beginning of the Republic. There is less war, less boats, less workers. It's the end of the Ottoman time. The industrialization of Turkey in the 50s transformed the sites of the Golden Horn into some other industrial activities, like textile manufacturers, energy factory, warehouse. Istanbul became an attractive place for job opportunities and provoked the first wave of large-scale immigration from east to west part of Turkey. The new workers are able to reduce their cost of urban living with the construction of self-built houses called Gecekondu near to the factories. The Golden Horn remains the main place of production in Istanbul, but the white smoke coming out of the chimneys and chemical products are polluting every day the water and the city. If the industries were the symbol of the modernity, they became too unpleasant, too polluted to be maintained in the historical center. 500 years of industrial activity stopped progressively and definitively. The inner city turned into service, tourism, and culture center. The shipyard in Haliç are not affected by these changes and remains an abandoned place, a mysterious silence setting aside. Even if the shipyard is located in the historical center, it seems to be stuck in time. The stone wall that protects it seems to be like a fortress. It makes it impenetrable and mysterious. The only way to discover its secrets is to follow the wild way via the Golden Horn. The peaceful and quiet landscape deserted by human beings is today a place where the nature has reclaimed its right over the site. The scene is composed of neglected buildings with broken glasses mixed with old rusted containers. Some pieces of ship hull are floating on the water. This place is the last witness of the intensive industrial past of the Golden Horn. Since the stop of the activity, the land is owned by the military. The neglected shipyard is isolated from its surroundings. People forgot about the importance of the place with the time. Since it came to power, AKP exerts a strong influence in Istanbul. Victim of land speculation, the urban development of Istanbul was functioning as a black box phenomenon until 2020. At this time, government and private investors had the entire power of decision on the city. The original proposal, formulated by the government in 2013, was to convert the shipyard into a marina. This mega project could change completely the existing landscape. The destruction of the building could permit the reconversion of the shipyard into a touristic place with 2 yacht harbors, 250,000 hostel rooms, commercial area. The Alternative Istanbul program has thought about the reconversion of this place with a different approach. Beyond the idea of keeping the historical building, the goal is to remember social practices of the site. Instead of proposing a fixed program to this place, the idea is to transform the site step by step. It led the flexibility for future generations to guide the use with the volatilities. The abandoned shipyard, asleep in 30 years, will wake up slowly. The first step is to open temporarily the place to form the first link between people and the abandoned place. The annual Tulip Festival is an opportunity to open and disclose the site to its surroundings. This typical flower of Istanbul reminds the bucolic environment of the Golden Horn during the Ottoman time. During the event, everyone is allowed to walk freely in the area, to sit on the dock facing to the sea, having a lunch on the top of the crane. The second step is to motivate the social link that has been lost with time. The small factories close to the shipyard has been destroyed by the new highway. So the social system of the manufacturers is a huge asset that is threatened to disappear. The conservation of this existing human relationship is a real stake. That's why they are relocated on the old dockyard. In 2015, a new transportation policy proposed to reduce the use of cars in Istanbul. The parallel development of adequate public transport allows people to change their habits and let the car at home. It becomes unusual to drive a car, so when a car is broken, people are not buying another one. Scrap cars accumulate in the landfill outside of the city. What to do with it? Should we continue it that way, or rather think about a recycling system? What about their end of life? The system is organized with a central permanent system, where flexible systems are gravitating around. For instance, a car arrived to the platform. The first step is to disassemble the spare part. The wire of the car can be reused directly, or it can be melted to obtain the raw material. In both cases, the rubber would supply the multi-resource platform. The next step offers unlimited possibilities. For example, a shoemaker installed on the site can pick the rubber from the multi-resource platform to fabric shoes. The workshop is not only a productive area. In fact, it is also a place for learning. People come to learn a knowledge. Then, the product is sold in a common market or exported locally by sea. Many other examples could be said. If some materials are not directly used, it is driven to a material library, ready to be used for a manufacturing school or research department. How to reuse resources? What are the challenges tomorrow? In other words, Those new activities benefits to a majority: students, workers, consumers. The site recovered its early dynamic. As before, we are producing things, and the forward and backward movement marks the rhythm of the days. We are talking, working, selling, assembling, disassembling, meeting, buying, learning, researching, playing, working, creating,